Greetings, brothers, sisters, and heretics. Welcome back to another episode of George Hammer. As you can see, I'm in my dressing gown and my lovely Deadpool pajamas because I'm having a bit of a lazy day today. I've had a very busy weekend. I had a work due, then I had work yesterday morning, and then I went to my parents because my sister came down. So yeah, it's been relatively busy, and I did want to start recording this a bit earlier, but I was too bloody tired. So I was like, right, I'm gonna get everything sorted, and yeah, just sorted stuff out, like tidied up, cleaned, and then I got into my pajamas, sat down on the couch. I was like, I should probably do this video. Yeah. But yeah, so let's get started. So, in regards to last time, I said about the Blade Champion, and I told everyone, fuck all of you for thinking it was an orc. Well, I've decided to be nice, and I'm today going to be doing an Ultramarine. Oh, no, I'm kidding. It's the Orc Beast Boss. So, yeah, finally getting on to doing my orcs, finally. I thought the best way to start would be with this big boy right here. Looking at the details, it is a lot to do, but yeah, should be fun. So, yeah. I was going to say something else before I got started, but I don't remember what. That was it. Yeah, I was checking my analytics, and I've seen that I've got over 2,000 views, which is pretty good, Again, I've only been doing this for 3 weeks, and I know a lot of people might say, oh, 2,000 views isn't anything, but to me it's a big deal because, you know, I'm starting out, this is all new for me. It's just awesome. So yeah, thank you for that. I've also got a couple of more likes as well, so that again is, you know, really great. I haven't got any more subscribers, but you know, that comes in time. Like, you know, it's not the end of the world. Yeah, that's it. I just wanted to say thank you to everyone that has been watching my videos and all that stuff, and yeah, I'm just gonna keep doing it, and as time goes on, I will be doing other stuff. So yeah, like I said, stay tuned and see what happens. Before I begin, because again, I always have to have a brew in my videos. Oh, I love a good cup of tea. Right, yeah, let's get started then. So, to do the Orc Beast Boss, this is part of the Combat Patrol. So, in my shot with all those orcs, this guy was part of the pack. So yeah, when I do the other orcs, they'll probably have like similar color schemes. I probably will do a video where I'm painting a couple of them, but you know, just to save time and effort, I'll be cutting ahead, and then I might be doing most of the orcs off screen, just because I don't want to be doing too many videos about orcs, because I think people might get a bit too bored about that. If it's particular orcs, like it was like a weird boy or a pain boy or a war boss or anything like that, or even like an orc vehicle, like what are the big robots called? I think it's a Morkanaut, or is it Gorkabot? I don't know. By the way, yeah, I want to do one of those, but I'll be doing videos about that. But not like orcs in general, because I think, like, you know, once you've done one, you've seen it all, really, isn't it? So same with any other army, really. So yeah, anyway, let's get started. So for this, I'm going to be starting with Leadbelcher. So get my brush ready. Yeah, speaking of last night when I went to go see my family, it came up in random conversation. Me and my sister were saying about charades, because I'm trying to think how it started. I think my dad, like, he leant over and you know when you're not wearing a belt and your pants kind of like sag a bit, you can see the top part of your bum. Yeah, that happened with my dad. And I was like, oh God, this is giving me flashbacks to charades. And like people looked at me like, where's this going? And I was like, basically, what happened was my dad, we were playing charades years ago. I was a kid. We went to Devon, one of the Haven camps. Which, if you've never been to Haven, I recommend it, especially if you go as a family. It's really, really nice. Oh yeah, sorry. Just before I keep rambling on, I'm going to be doing his sword, gun here, bit of mechanical bits here and here. They're going to be lead belcher. So yeah, let's get started. Oh, I'll say his mechanical arm because one of his arms is robotic. Anyway, yeah. So my dad, I got a bit of a lead belcher on my thumb. I don't know how that happened. Weird. Anyway, yeah, so my dad, he was doing charades and it was his turn. And he was thinking for a minute. And obviously, anyone who's played charades knows that the rules are like you stop and you go like, I think this is film, this is TV, and this is book. So he did TV. He wrote 3 words. Second word, the. So when you do the T, it means the. And he did that. And for the third word, he thought for a minute, and then he got up. There was like, so pretend it's like chairs are radiated. He got up, like sagged his pants a little bit, and he went, ugh. And me and my sister and everyone was just like, oh God. Oh, that's so weird. And my sister literally went, oh, Bob the Builder. So I just remember that. Me and my sister were cracking up laughing. And my dad was like, I don't remember that happening. Sounds like something I do, but I don't remember that happening. And my stepmom was like, we have never played charades on a holiday. So yeah, to my dad and my stepmom that are watching this, we played fucking charades, all right? It happened. I was going to say, like, that's just a random story. Like, I don't think anyone on YouTube is going to give a flying fuck about any of that. But it's little memories like that I just love. It always makes me laugh. But yes, speaking of my lovely sister, I say lovely, she is like a chaos god. She's that evil. Even Korn would be terrified of her. So, you know, just a bit of reference there, if you get my drift. But yeah, anyway, so she came down and I told her about my channel. She was like, ooh, very nice, as you do. And I said about podcasts and that. And I said, when I'm doing my podcasts in the future, so she wanted to be a part of it. So she was like, oh, yes, I would like to do that. So, yeah, when I do my podcasts, my lovely sister, the goddess of chaos and destruction and just other negative bits in the universe, she will be part of the podcast. I don't know what we're going to be talking about at the moment. She did say, oh, I don't know much about Warhammer. And I said, like, well, the podcasts aren't going to always be about Warhammer. Well, I think the first few might be, but I have some ideas about what I want to talk about. So I said, yeah, it won't just be about Warhammer. And that, so don't worry if you don't know anything about it. But maybe I'll be evil and just go like and just say, hi, welcome to the podcast. I'm here with my sister. Today we're going to be talking about Warhammer. So I hope you did your bloody homework. She'll just be sat there just like, I don't get any of these references. Just doing a little pop quiz for her. Just like, question number 1. What legion did Horus lead during the Horus Heresy? She's like, I don't No, stop. No, she's. I love my sister. Yes, a very, very uncontroversial opinion. I love my siblings. Yeah. So anyway, yeah. So I'm just getting his sword roundabout done. I am actually thinking with this sword, it's like maybe, just maybe, because I thought about when I did the Blade Champion video, I was like, oh, well, I joked about doing a blood splatter on his sword. I was like, well, with this one, because it is an actual like metallic sword, it's not like an energy sword, which I did actually see the name of what those swords are called in Tacticus, and I was like, oh, cool, I could make a reference to that and make myself look more intelligent on these videos. And I bloody forgot what it's called. So like just before I started, I was like, oh, I can make a reference. Just thinking about it, I was like, I'll make a reference. And then I'm just like, I don't bloody remember what they're called. It's like air or something. I don't know. So to the Warhammer community, please don't castrate me for not knowing. I do apologise. I'm trying, guys. I really am trying. I'm sorry. I am a heretic. Ugh. Yeah, anyway, I think that's enough rambling for the moment. Just gonna get up to, because there's a bit of skin over here, because his arms are not fully mechanical, because the orcs, a little bit of a lore dump. The orcs have this weird thing where technology, they love to kind of integrate themselves into technology. So whenever they have an injury or anything like that, they'll just replace it with like a big robotic piece, and it's mostly arms and that, because they tend to have a tendency to get their arms cut off. I can't talk at the moment. Yeah, they have a tendency to get their arms cut off. What's right? I mean, yeah, it's that bad. It gives Anakin Skywalker a run for his money, but yeah, they replace it with mechanical parts. But unlike Anakin Skywalker, it's not good technology. It's like very, very crude and stuff like that. But the hilarious thing is orcs are kind of magic. Like, I saw a meme once, and it was taking like a pile of junk, smacking it with a hammer, and it turned into like this knight's gauntlet. And I was like, yeah, that's pretty much how orcs work. They have this like weird magical ability that they're kind of aware of, but not at the same time, where if they want something to work, if they believe in it enough, it will work. I always found that like amusing. Like, it's an amazing part of like the lore, and it's one of the reasons why I like the orcs, because I think it was one of my friends. I said like the orcs kind of remind me of bit of like Discworld. Anyone that's read the Discworld series, absolute legends. The Discworld series is amazing, but the Discworld has like this whole thing of like the universe basically has a kind of like a cosmic intervention in a way. So like if you, because it plays out like a storybook in a way. So like if a monster takes over like a town or anything, inevitably a hero will come and save the day. And if a I mean, I know people have talked about this before, but like it's I like this world. So anyway, but yeah, another example is like if you become like a grand vizier to a sultan, you inevitably want to betray him, even if you're like the nicest person around. It's that kind of thing. It's like the universe is basically, it has a will of its own, and sometimes it benefits people, sometimes it doesn't, and most people kind of just acknowledge it and just go, oh yeah, the universe is acting up today. Okay, cool. A lot of people just let that go. Now, the way that the orcs are similar is, like I said, is they have a weird kind of like psychic magic connection to the universe, where it's just like like I said, they can make things work if they really believe it will work. But again, it's got to come from their own belief. So if they don't believe it won't, if they don't believe it will work, then it's just a pile of junk. And again, like I said, it's things like that honestly is kind of hilarious. Really like that stuff. Right. Right, I think his arm's done. A bit of his mechanical bit here is done. Yeah, I've just got a few more bits to do, but what I'm going to do is, like I said, I'm going to cut ahead because I think I've now done rambling for about, I want to say, good 10-15 minutes. So yeah, I think I'll cut ahead now. So I will cut back and, as per usual, show the result of what I've done. Okie dokie. Right, so as you can see, I've filled out the silver details along here. Done the sword, his arm, the gun on top. There's a little fuse box on the back. There's also his little big claw thing, his boots. Yeah. So that's all the silver bits that needed doing. Now, I believe the next color I'm going to do is I'll do his skin. Let's do his skin. So we're going to go with green. Okay, so we're going on to green, but first I just magically pull tea out of nowhere. Yeah, right, so let's do his skin. So for that, I'm going to be using Auroch Flesh. So let's get this open. But yeah, in regards to the stuff that I was talking about before, I would actually like to know, if anyone comments, what are your funniest childhood memories? Like if you've been on holiday or something like that, or just in general, like what's your favourite childhood memory? I would like to know. Be fun to discuss it and stuff like that, because it is one of those, like, you get like some people that will share stories and it's really interesting to hear it because it's like, obviously everyone's a bit different. Sorry, hold on. One of my hair's dropped out. Yeah, I'm losing my hair. I'm getting old. But yeah, it's like, it's always interesting to hear when people share stories, because everyone's got a different story, haven't they? Right, I'm gonna switch from using my starter brush to my technical brush actually, because I need to get into delicate areas. Yeah, so like I said, it's I actually remember, I think it was my friend who I'm trying to think, he went on holiday or something like that, and I'm trying to think what friend it was. It might have been an old friend, but basically he went on holiday and he broke his arm somehow, and when his throughout like 2 straight days, because he was like in absolute agony and stuff like that, and his mum and dad were like, what happened? And rather than just tell the truth, he just went, oh, it's nothing, no, I'm fine. It took them like, I think like 2 days before they realised, like they grabbed him and his arm just went and they're like, is your arm broken? And he was like, yes. And I remember listening to that story, like, I can't remember who it was. It must have been a long time ago. But I kind of just sat there and I was just like, why didn't you just tell them your arm was broken? He was like, I don't know. I thought I was going to get into trouble for it. I was like, why? It's like, oh no, I broke my arm. What a terrible sin. But yeah, I remember that story and it just always made me laugh, because I was like, yeah, if I break a bone, I'll just hide it from my parents. I don't know how he did, because breaking a bone is bloody painful. For anyone that has broken a bone, you will know how painful it is. So, yeah, hiding that is going to be bloody difficult. It's not exactly easy. Sorry, I'm just getting his face. Leave a bit for his eyes. There we go. Oh, I just forgot to say as well, like I said about my sister coming over, she actually came around to my house before we went over to my parents. And when I said about doing my YouTube channel, and she was like, "Oh, that's very nice, very nice." Sorry, I've got a very itchy nose. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I was going to say, before anyone is like, "Oh, he picks his nose." No, it's just really, really itchy today. I don't know why. It's just, it feels like, you know, in those cartoons when they get the pepper and they go on the nose, you're like, "Achoo!" It feels like I'm about to sneeze, but it's the itchy sensation. It is really, really irritating at the moment. So, yeah, don't worry, I'm not picking my nose. I know I'm doing an orc, and I know orcs are disgusting, and I know I'm not exactly the nicest person ever. But no, I am not picking my nose. Don't worry. I'm not that bad yet. But yeah. So anyway, my sister came over, and I kind of gave her a little sneak peek. I said, "This is the figure that I'm going to do." Today, well, technically today, it was when it was yesterday. I was like, "I'm doing it tomorrow," and she looked at it and she went, "How are you going to do that?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" And she went, "Would it not be easier to paint it before you build it?" And I said, "Some people do that, but not everyone." And that's the thing. That is something that I realised. I forgot to actually bring it up in videos, because, you know, I'm meant to be giving tips. At least that's what I say on my channel. Yeah, if for anyone who's like, it's too hard to get into certain details, what you can do is you can, when it's in its framework, like, you know, before you build it and all that, you can prime and then paint beforehand if you really want to, but it's entirely up to you. I personally don't do it. I think it adds a bit of challenge to it, and the challenge is honestly kind of what makes it fun. Like this bit, I'm trying to get the lower part of his jaw, and I think I just about got it. Yep. Now I've just got to get under here, and again, like I said, it's like little interesting bits like this you got to really maneuver around, but I think that's what makes it kind of interesting. But yeah, she looked at it and she was like, "It looked really complicated." I'm gonna do his arm first, by the way. Which like, it looks really complicated. I was like, it kind of is. And I showed her a figure that I did not too long ago. Again, before I started doing this, I did the recent Red Gobbo Tin Boy figure. And I showed her that, and her eyes just widened. She went, "Oh my God." She was like, "How did you do that?" And I was like, as I said, it required a lot of bloody effort, like, and patience, because there are bits that are complicated. Like I said, like, there's tiny bits that you got to get to, so you've got to be really, really careful. But all the same, it's one of those where it's like, you know, if you have the time and the patience, you can pull it off. But as I say to many, many people, don't push yourself too hard. You know, it's natural to make mistakes, you know, like me. I'm not a professional painter. I'm not Da Vinci or anything like that. I'm not gonna lecture people on how to do this at all, because then I'd be a hypocrite, because I'm not that great. At least I don't think I am. So yeah, all I'll say is just, if you want to do a figure in a particular way, that's entirely up to you. I remember I was saying this to someone, and it's a really interesting way of thinking, and it is, if you do something correct but you do it in a different way, it's still correct. Like, it's just like with anything, really. It's like, that's just life in general. If you do something in a particular way, are you doing it wrong? And it's like, well, if you're doing it correct but you're doing it differently, how is it wrong? And that's the thing. It's the same with anything in life. And so, obviously, topical discussion is the same with Warhammer. Or like with my videos. A lot of people might not like long videos, but I always see it as, well, if I'm entertaining people and I'm doing it and I'm doing a good job, what's the problem? And that's it. Like, there's no right or wrong way of doing anything in life. It's like I went into my Warhammer shop, not my local one. When I finished work, there's one in Manchester that I went to. Really nice staff there, by the way. So if you're local to Manchester and you like Warhammer, go check it out. They are really friendly, really nice. And I was getting a couple of miniatures, and I told the cashier guy about my channel, and he was like, yeah, I'll check it out. And I was like, yeah. I was like, they are long, I do warn you. And he was like, no, it's really cool. It's really cool. And I was like, thank you. So, yeah, shout out to that guy. I believe his name was Alex. I think his name was Alex. I do apologise if I got that wrong. Like I said, if he's watching this and I've called him the wrong name, he's just sat there and he's like, well, never serving him again. He can't even get my bloody name right. So, I think it was Alex. I could be wrong. But yeah, anyway, because he said, how are you painting these figures? And I said, I'm just painting them how they look, but I'm just doing it my way. So if I use like a different paint color, it's like, yeah, it's just my interpretation of doing it. Hold on a second, let me just get deep into here, because there's a bit here. There we go. Yeah. I'm actually doing really well as well. Like, I'm literally avoiding going over the lines. Like, usually I'm terrible for that. I'll like skip over that. Oh God. Oh no. I fucked up. But I'm actually doing pretty all right. Again, irony. I'm like, if you go over the lines, it's okay. You can correct the issue. Don't worry about it. I do it. I'm just like, oh, fuck's sake, I did it wrong. Yeah, so anyway, I was talking to this guy, and I said, like, well, I'm doing them as they are now, but in the future, I will probably be painting them in particular styles. So if it's like Christmas, I'll be painting them Christmassy, because I know there's the Red Gobbo, which I do have a couple of Red Gobbo figures. I could have actually, like I said, I could have done the Tin Boy, but didn't think to record it, so oh well. Excuse me. But I do have a couple of Red Gobbos that I do need to paint, so I could save those until Christmas, and then, yeah, Christmassy video. But I said I'm going to get a couple of figures and then do them Christmassy style. So the War Despot that I previously did, I've got an idea for him. So I was like, yeah, you know what? That's something to look forward to. But it does mean I have to buy the figures again. But again, that's the fun of it. It's the fun of doing this channel. Like, I'm not complaining. I actually have fun doing this. So yeah. But yeah, the guy found it intriguing. I was like, I'm gonna do Halloween. I might even do a Valentine's Day special. Speaking of which, Valentine's Day is it's 2 weeks from now, isn't it? It's gonna be on Saturday, right after Friday the 13th. So yeah. Right after Jason Voorhees kills a bunch of people, yeah, go out and celebrate Valentine's Day with your loved ones. I was gonna I'm rambling, but I also have like those moments, like you know when you're talking about something and then your brain just freezes. It's like a computer, and you just go like that. It's like you literally lose trail of thought. But yeah, um, but yeah, that's something I might do. I might do a Valentine's themed one, maybe. I don't know, because like I said, I do want to do holiday themed ones, but it's the question of what to do because as it is, as I think I've said this before, but like obviously I have my job and that, so I can't do this all the time for obvious reasons. Like I record on Sundays because it's the only day that I've got free realistically. So I'm like, sorry again, can't talk. Yeah, so I only have a limited amount of free time, but as well, it's also I only have a limited amount of money because obviously I've got to pay my bills and stuff like that. So, alas, I can't just spend money on tons of Warhammer. Like I wouldn't mind like if I got like if I had like a budget towards Warhammer, I would absolutely utilize that because then it means I could get stuff one to help with my hobby, but two to get content for the channel. You know, that'd be nice. It would be nice, but yeah. Anyway, I'm just coming up to the last bit of doing green on his back, and I've got to do his hand over here. So I will cut ahead and show you guys the results. Back in a minute. Okie dokie, so now he's all green. He's like a very angry Shrek. Very angry Shrek with robotic parts and stuff like that, so yeah. Very good, very good. Okay, let's move on to the next colour. Okay, so I think the next colour I'm going to do is corn red, I believe, because he's got a bit of red on him. I will be incorporating a little bit of a mystery colour. I say mystery, anyone who watches the videos and knows me will know what colour it's going to be. But if not, then it's going to be a little surprise. I was actually thinking when I was cut off camera to finish off the rest, I was actually thinking of because I was getting his hand, and I was like, that's it, that's really nice. And I don't know why, but Ainsley Harriott popped into my head. So as soon as I done, I just went, yeah, boy. Just, you know what though? I kind of miss Ainsley Harriott on TV. I don't know about anyone else, but I legit miss Ainsley Harriott on TV because he was such a guy, such a character. Apparently, one of my friends met Ainsley Harriott because they went to a food market in my town, and Ainsley Harriott came by, and apparently he walked by, went up to my friend, and he just went, "Oh, that's a nice bit of meat in your mouth." And I was like, "Ooh, okay, that's But I mean, like I said, it's Ainsley Harriott. He's a bloody character, so. And my friend found it funny anyway, so you know. I like to meet Ainsley Harriott, but every time there's like an event, I'm not down there. I'm like, I'm just gonna give it a miss, and it's like George Ainsley Harriott was there, and I'm just like dying inside. I'm just like, I I can't fucking win, can I? Yeah, I don't know. I've met a fair few celebrities though in the past, so that's not too bad. I met believe I'm trying to think now. I'm legit trying to think who I met. I met Kevin Smith. That was interesting. Yeah, so I met Kevin Smith because it was me and my friend went down. He came to Manchester, and me and my friend went to go see him live with Jay Muse. And after the show, it was, if you stuck around, you got to have like a meet and greet kind of thing and get an autograph. So I have a autographed ticket from him and Jay Muse, and I went up to him, I was like, oh my god, I'm such a big fan of yours. And he was like, oh, thank you. And I said, where does it sound? Can I give you a hug? And he went, of course you can. And I literally hugged him. I was like, oh, it's like hugging a teddy bear. And he burst out laughing. But it really was. It was like hugging a big, warm teddy bear in a hockey jersey. Like it was an interesting experience. So yeah, you know. But yeah, I'm trying to think what other celebrities have I met. I don't think I've met any in it, to be fair, anymore. Yeah, and again, it's like I don't want to make it sound like I'm flexing, like, oh, I met this particular celebrity. I think I met Warwick Davis once. I'm gonna be honest, I don't actually remember. But I've met a lot of like I mean, obviously these are at like conventions and stuff like that. But I met the guy who plays Deathstroke from the Arrow TV series. So, and he was actually really really nice because I said he was I was talking to him and he was like, where are you from, mate? And I went, oh, I'm from Bolton. And he went, Bolton? Oh, I love that town. And I legit looked at him and just went, I'm surprised you bloody know it exists. Because every time, like, I'm not joking, like, every time I say to people, oh, yeah, I'm from Bolton, they're like, where's that? And it's like, it's the largest town in England. Most people should know where it is. Like, just to give a brief example of how famous it can be, is Peter Kay and Paddy McGuinness are from Bolton, and Sir Ian McKellen as well. There you go. Gandalf came from Bolton. Oh, that's actually it as well. I met Peter Kay once. Hilariously, he came to my church when I got baptised, because I was baptised Catholic. He was sat at the back of the church. And I was like, as soon as I got baptized, I was like, oh my god, I'm so influential. Peter Kay came to see me. This was years ago, by the way. I was like, God, I think I was like 15, maybe, something like that. I can't remember. But I saw him, I was like, oh my god, it's Peter Kay. And when I went over to go say hi to him, the guy just looked at me and just went, yeah, mate, and just walked off. And I was like, I got to speak to Peter Kay. Oh my god! I was like a little schoolgirl that day. I was half so close. So just going, ah! I'm not actually going to scream, by the way. I'm not going to do a high pitch scream because, yeah, I kind of preferably want my audience to have fully functioning ears. So, yeah, I'll not do that to you. Right, just gonna get this bit here. I actually did forget to explain what I am painting, like, you know, but yeah, like I said, the thing about this channel is I should actually put this probably in my description, is I am inconsistently consistent, because sometimes I'll say things and I'm like, oh, I'll do this, and I don't bloody do it, and yeah, kind of raises a few eyebrows, but oh well, what are you gonna do? Right, so what I'm gonna do is get this bit here. Okay, I'm gonna cut ahead and show what I've painted, and then we'll get on to the next one. Okay, okay. Right, so the corn red is done. As you can see, even though I bragged before saying, oh, I've been painting within the lines, I have accidentally got some outside of the lines, but luckily I can correct those in time, so that's not too bad. So yeah, with that said, let's move on to the next colour. Okay, right, so the next colour I'm going to do is black, because he's got black hair, black pants, and I think his boots are black. Yeah, I'm just gonna paint his boots black anyway. So I'll be using Abaddon Black. I am gonna do a few other colours that I will mention when I cut to it, only because they are they're relatively small colours as it is anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. But yeah, I'll just mention them when I get to the end. But for now, I'll just be doing black, and I will also reveal the surprise color, which, yeah, like I said, if anyone knows me, they'll know what my surprise color is. I'll give you a hint: it's one of my favorite colors. Yeah. So with that said, let's get started on the black. So I'm going to start with his hair around here. Yeah, so literally, because I just saw then, I got a few mistakes on his hair, but I was able to correct it just then, because black is basically, well, obviously, black is the darkest colour, so if you paint over anything with black, it's just, it covers it up really nicely. So I'm just going to try and avoid this, I guess it's a bone head bobble thing. Yeah, I'm totally not bad at English. Me good at English. Me so smart. And I was going to try and avoid the very tiny squig on his shoulder. Which, yeah, this will be the first squig that I paint, actually. So I've got a few squigs that I want to paint, but yeah, this will be interesting. Just get that bit there. I think I might have got... No, I actually avoided the squig. My God. Impressive. Right, now to get the other hair bit. What was I gonna say then? I actually don't know. Trying to be a bit more chatty, but I can't think of what to say really. Yeah, I don't know. And yeah, just got a bit of his bubble there. I'll correct it. It's fine. Because luckily with this orc, there are like mostly white bits. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go over with some Corax white to make it look a bit more bony. So that should be interesting. Oh yeah, as I was saying before, a while back about wanting to go full time on YouTube, it would be cool to do so, but again, it all depends on if people like what they see, basically, you know. If people don't care about the channel, it's like, well, yeah, that's not like, it's not a big deal. Okay, just got that. Go back to the other bit I was supposed to be doing, but just kind of moved down. Typical. Right, hold on a second. Yeah, I've just got to get this bit here, and then I can move on to his pants. Oh yeah, I was actually going to say as well, in regards to, because I said about wanted to do a Valentine's style figure, but I've not got the funds at the moment to invest highly in stuff like that. In that particular case, if people have a suggestion of what they want me to do, you could leave a comment, and if it's something that I'm like, yeah, I could feasibly do it, you know, I'll look into doing it. Because I actually wanted to get a after thinking of like the Valentine's idea, I was like, oh, I could get an Adeptus Sororitas, but I already got my miniatures, which neither of them are a Sister of Battle, so I was like, oh, that's it's a bit, sucks a bit, but oh well. His head done? Yep. So let's move on to his pants. This shouldn't take too long to do, so what I'll do is just gonna get this bit here because it's really small. Sick. There we go. Right. I've only got a little bit of his pants to do, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut away now, but I'm also going to show the extra colours that I'm going to do. And like I said, I'm going to show the surprise colour, so if you, like I said, if you know what it is, then it won't be much of a surprise, but you don't know. You never know. Okay. Right, back in a minute. And the surprise colour is... ta-da! Purple. Who would have fucking guessed? Yes, it is purple as the surprise colour. Oh my god. What a shocking reveal. Yeah, anyway. I've done the black and I did a bit of brown here and there. And that's it. Just touched up some details and that's it really. So... time to continue on. Okie dokie. So, yeah, I finished off the colour bits, and looking over the footage, I realised that this is going to be a particularly long video. So, what I'm going to do is I am going to paint the scaly kilt bit with Arcelian green, and I'm going to paint the fur coat with Mornfang brown. The reason I'm doing this is because, yeah, the video is actually taking longer than I expected. Obviously, you know, I've got to wait for stuff to dry and stuff like that. But yeah, I think it's also just because I ramble on, obviously, so, yeah. But anyway, so let's pop this open. And I'll put it here. Yeah, weirdly enough, this is called Arcelian green, but it's more of a blue colour, which I thought was kind of funny, thinking about it. Okay, do that. Yeah, if I had more time. Like I said, if I'd done this a bit earlier, would have more than happily taken my time, but alas, I didn't, so oh well. So I'm just going to do his kilt bit first. The kilt shouldn't take too long. Because there's only a little bit of it. And again, if people don't mind these videos being too long, then fantastic. Because, like I said, I don't know how I can shorten these down any more. But if you want shorter videos, I will try and make them shorter. So like I said, I don't mind long videos. I occasionally listen to long videos, especially at work. I'll put on like a podcast or just a video that I've already seen that I can just listen to in the background. Because you know when you work, you just need that background noise to kind of just keep you going. It's that motivation. There we go. Seamless. But yeah, so I want to kind of just, like I said, even if you like turn it on in the background and you're just doing your own thing, because I don't think, like, aside from if you really want to watch me, like, you know, just sat here painting and just rambling on, you can watch, but again, itchy nose. Yeah, like I said, there's not much going on. So you could realistically just put this on in the background and listen to it. So that's not a big deal. So yeah, like I said, if it's something that you would happily listen to in the background, then I'll just keep the videos as they are. But if people are keen on that and they're like, can you shorten the videos down and stuff like that, then I will attempt to make that possible. So I was thinking of doing a different format where I could talk in the background or doing this, but have it go a bit faster. So it's one of those, I'll still ramble, but you know, it will be doing it a bit faster. So it could be like a commentary track, if you will. But yeah, like I said, I don't know. Depends on what people want. If, like I said, if you're fine with it, great. If not, let me know. I'll see what I can do. Right, so I'm nearly done with this part here. Oh, I just realised I forgot to get that little bit there. Right, I will also cover that, but like I said, I'll do that off screen. And then after I've done his cloak, the only thing I need to do is the squig and then the shading. So yeah, that shouldn't take too long. Let me just get this last bit here and then I will move on to his cloak. There we go. And just a little bit more. It's a bit difficult this because as it's scaly, you've got to get into the ridges as well. So yeah, it's a little bit temperamental, but oh well, it is what it is. I'm just getting this a little bit over here, and then that should be okay. Yep, there we go. Okay, perfect. Right, I'll start on his fur cloak, so it'll run by his stomach all the way to his back, and that shouldn't take too long either, but like I said, I'm going to skip ahead, and then I'll show you. I'm also going to correctly think that the metal bit by his foot, because I completely missed it, but that's fine. Yeah, and I'll be back in a minute. Okie dokie, so I've done his little scale kilt. Yeah, I think it's a kilt. It kind of looks like a kilt if it was made out of a lizard. And I've done his fur coat. As you may notice, there are still a few white strands here and there, but honestly, it's painting hair, especially when it's like this, when it's just bristles, is so bloody hard. But like I said, when I shade over it, it'll probably look all right. So, okay. Now the last bit is the little squig here. There are a few more details. Oh, by the way, did his foot thing. Yes, there are a few more little details that I need to do, but I will finish them off after I've done the squig. So yeah, let's get to it. Okay, right. Like I said, we're going to be doing the squig next, so I'm going to be painting using squig orange. Just had to make sure I grabbed the right one because that would have been hilarious if not. Hang on. There we go. Did I just drop a bit then? I don't think I did. I think I'm seeing things. Anyway, yeah, like I said, very nearly done with this video. I was also going to say as well, if you're wondering why I've not been drinking my tea as much, yeah, I kind of ran out really quickly. I drank most of it off screen because obviously I usually say like, oh, I take a sip of my tea. No, I drank most of it off screen, so alas, no tea drinking for this video. But oh well, I'm sure you guys will survive. So let's do this body. Again, this shouldn't take too long. It's only small. But what I am going to do is, once I've done the squig, I'm going to finish off the little bits that need doing. And then I'm going to attempt to give some detail on the squig's eye, because one thing about it is it's on the artwork it's got a crosshair in its eye, but I'm not entirely too sure if I will be able to do that because I'm not that talented. But I could always give it a shot, see. Maybe it'll be alright. But we shall see, we shall see. There we go. Again, I do apologise that I'm not as talkative in this video. Like I said, it's just been a very busy weekend. So, like I said, today I just had a bit of a lazy day. And yeah, I don't know, I'm just feeling a bit... I mean, weekends are for relaxing anyway, but like I said, Sundays are like pretty much the only day that I get like 100% free. So I am trying to try my best to stay on that top and keep it consistent. And yeah, the other way to do that is, like I said, is to do it on Sundays. But yeah, if I have a busy weekend, I am just very tired at the end of it. So yeah, I don't know. Just get his little tail. And of course, it's in an awkward position. Should be able to get that. Yeah. but I've unfortunately clipped some of the orc's hair, so again I'll correct that issue when I come to it. There we go. There we go, and there. Right, that's the orc. There's an orc's body. That's the squig's body done. Oh, hang on. Okay, now it's done. And like I said, I'll just fix his hair when I come to it. So yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do his eye yellow. I'm going to try and draw a crosshair. If I can't, I'm just going to leave it. And then I'm going to do the wire bits, finish off any little bits around, and then we can get on to the shading part. Oh yeah, I'm going to do the rock that he's standing on and the base as well. So yeah, I'll just cut ahead to when it's all done and I'll show you what I've done, just so it's not taking too long. Okay. Okie dokie, so yeah, I've done the squig. Did attempt to do a crosshair. It looks a little wonky, but that's my best attempt. And like I said, I've done the wires. Yeah, if you could see in between his arms, I did try to do them. They're not the best, but again, like I've always said in my videos, the point is that you have fun doing what you do. So yeah, right, like I said, I'm going to finish off the base and the rock bit that he's standing on, and then I will get onto the shading. Right, so I've now done the base, and what I did with that is I got a bit of astrogranite and wildwood, mixed it together to make kind of a very muddy terrain. I used wildwood on the stone. Yeah, that's it really. That was the base. I've actually just realised I forgot to do his sword, so I'm going to do a quick bit of blood splatter on his sword, and hopefully by then it should be dried, and then we can do the shading. Okie dokie. Right, society, we have reached the end stretch, so time to shade, and I'm going to be using Agrax Earth Shade. Yeah, sorry, I'm just feeling really tired. It has been, I want to say it's been a long day, but kind of has, kind of hasn't. It's just feels like it's been a long week, that's all. So yeah, let's just get this guy shaded. Just get it everywhere. Yeah, and like I said, I do apologise. Hang on, let me just get that a bit more. There we go. I can just properly get in there. Yeah, anyway, like I said, I do apologise that I've not been as, I guess, fun. Like, I've been trying to, like, you know, trying to be a bit positive and stuff like that, but like I said, I'm just really tired. Yeah, it's been a lot, so alas, but oh well. I will try and get this uploaded tonight. I don't know if you can tell, but it is like currently nighttime. I've now been doing this for a while because, like I said, I mean, I don't know if I've actually explained this, but obviously, as you could probably tell from the cutting in between, is I have to let it dry first, which doesn't take too long, but then I edit the clips, which does take a while, especially when I'm editing on a phone, and it takes bloody forever. So yeah, it's a bit of effort, but well, That's also another thing. My nose has not stopped itching, like, throughout this entire video. All day for that matter, really. But yeah, so I have been doing this now for, I think, last time I checked the time, it was about 9 o'clock. So I've been doing this for a couple of hours now. And I know people will probably turn around and go, wow, it took him a couple of hours to paint a figure. No, if I was doing this just by myself, like if I was taking my time, I was just going over like every little detail with a thin comb, it'd probably take me like just under an hour maybe, especially for a figure like this. Yeah, it's just one of those where the reason it has taken so long is because it is just making the cuts in the video, doing the editing and stuff like that. It does take its time and stuff. So yeah, that's one of the reasons why it's taken so long. And it is dark outside now, but I don't know if, like I said, I don't know if you'll be able to tell because I think, yeah, I left my kitchen light on. Yeah, never mind. I think though, when I was like looking through the clips, I think I did see it was dark because I just turned my light off, and yeah, it's getting, obviously, gets dark pretty quick. So yeah. Okay, just gonna get around here. That bit there. And let's see. Yeah, nearly done. Just gotta get a bit more there. Let's see, what have I not done? I have not done his arm here. Let's do this foot here. This bit here. I've also done the blood stains on his sword, so I will show that when I show off the shading. But yeah, like I said, it's just, I don't know, it's kind of a shame because I was really like looking forward to doing this video like properly, and like I said, I've just been bloody tired, so I just haven't had the well, not exactly the enthusiasm, because the enthusiasm is there. It's just, it's a muted enthusiasm, if you get my drift. Like, when you just like, you really like something and you really want to do it, but then you just like, you get to it and you're like, yeah, it's fine, and you kind of just lose a bit of interest. But you feel bad because it's like, well, you've not lost interest, it's just, yeah, you're just tired or whatever, you've got other stuff going on, so it's like, yeah. Right, let's see. I've gotta get his arm there. Let's just get in here. So yeah, like I said, it has just been one of those where, unfortunately, yeah, I've just been a bit tired, so I've not been as enthusiastic, but I'm still doing it, and I thought, you know what? Okie dokie. So the Orc Beast Boss is finally completed. Just letting the shading dry for a bit. And I am going to quickly explain what just happened before, why it cut out, because yeah, that's a bit of a funny story. All right. Right. Yeah, so the Orc Beast Boss is completed. My footage did cut out for a second because it turns out my iPhone storage has exceeded, and I was like, I didn't even realise. So yeah, it just cuts off while I was rambling on. All I was saying was that I do have some enthusiasm because, I did the figure, but yeah, like I said, I've just been tired and stuff, so it's yeah, just been tired and just not really bothered. But yeah, hopefully next week I'll be a bit more enthusiastic. But I just wanted to get this video done just because, one, it was a nice start to the Orcs, you know, and yeah, you know, I just want to be consistent. But with that said, yeah, stick around for next time. I don't know what I'm going to paint next time. This one's actually definitely going to be a surprise for everyone because I genuinely don't know what I'm going to do. So yeah, until next time, brothers, sisters, and heretics, I'll see you around. I've been George Hammer.